Are you someone that's pregnant or postpartum? Or do you have some low back issues, whether it be weakness or pain or stiffness, or you notice certain things bother you with day-to-day activities like hip, tightness or stiffness? Keep watching for a 5-minute deep core exercise workout. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Sarah. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am a family physician, a wife, a mom of 4, currently expecting number 5, and an exercise enthusiast. So, of course, I knew anatomically what the deep core muscles are because we learned about it in medical school. But just to kind of get everybody on the same page, the deep core is the innermost layer of abdominal muscles that essentially wrap around your body like a corset. And so they come all the way up to your breathing muscle, which is your diaphragm. They go all the way down to your pelvic floor, and it wraps fully around like a corset. So these muscles are hugely important, as you can imagine, prenatally, when you're pregnant, as well as postpartum. And maintaining the strength is very important for recovery in the postpartum period. It also, maintaining the strength can also help with labor, with delivery, all of these things having to do with having babies. Additionally, with my journey, I have found how important this musculature has been for my spine health, for my flexibility in general, for my ability to be functional day to day with minimal pain and stiffness. Because when I started incorporating these type of exercises on a regular basis, I noticed improvements in my abdominal area, especially, pregnant and postpartum, but also in day-to-day life because I was able to breathe easier. I had more balance and flexibility and strength in areas that I didn't prior to incorporating these regularly. So this is why I think it's so hugely important to focus on the deep core. And it's not always the most talked about ab area. This is not the six-pack abs that you will see, but these need to be foundationally strong for you to be able to build layers of visible abdominal muscles on top of it. And like I said, for me, it's all about the functionality and how much it has helped me with the day-to-day things that I need. So today I wanted to do a 5-minute workout with you. And so when I post this video, I will make sure to say in the comment like when the workout part actually starts. So you'll know kind of, if you're going back to do this again, you'll know where to fast forward to. So the first thing I wanted to start with, and I'm gonna hop back to my mat here, and I'm gonna do the exercises for about a minute or so. I usually try to do things for a minute or so because I think it gives you enough time to really get into the move, get comfortable with how it's done. I feel like if you change movements too quickly, it can be sometimes challenging. Like by the time you figure out what you're doing, then you're changing to the next thing, and then it's harder to learn it. And so I think, again, like you can go back to this video again and again to do the workout portion of it. But I think doing it for a minute can help your body sort of learn what you need to be doing. So I am going to hop back here and hopefully stay in the screen. So the first thing I wanted to do is I get to a high knee position and I do 360 breathing, which I have a video on this. I will link it below, but basically you want to inhale and you have your hands on your ribs. You're inhaling, expanding all parts of the ribs, front, side, and back into your hands. And then you exhale as if you're blowing out hundreds of birthday candles. And when you do that exhale, you should feel your hands sort of come back together and you feel that corset muscle of the deep core musculature tighten up. And you should be breathing while I'm talking you through this. So you're going to inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you may feel silly. I know I did in the beginning, but you should be able to hear yourself. It should be audible, the breathing. So you're gonna do that inhale and exhale. Okay, so that's been about a minute. The next one is some side bends. So same position. I put my fingers behind my head and we just kind of bend. Side. So you're inhaling on the way down and then exhaling your body back up on the more challenging part of the movement. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And again, you want to make sure you're practicing that 360 breathing with these movements. And it will take practice. You have to work on that breathing by itself and focus on it for a while before it becomes second nature to incorporate it into exercise moves like this. The next move is to get into what's called a quadruped or an all fours position, where you have your wrists, elbows, and shoulders in a straight line, and then your hips are stacked over your knees with your hips pointing evenly towards the floor. And we're gonna do some shoulder taps here. So you take your left hand and tap your right shoulder. Same thing on the other side. And this, again, it doesn't necessarily feel like much. You're not gonna have that burning ab sensation, but this is where with every breath, you wanna be focusing on that 360 breathing. You wanna inhale, exhale audibly, the hundreds of birthday candles, and pair that exhale with the corset muscle tightening. And when you're doing the shoulder taps, you want to make sure you're going slow and being intentional and not wiggling your hips around. The next move is called a bird dog. I also have an individual video on this, but essentially you're going to inhale, and when you exhale, you raise the opposite arm and leg. So you inhale and then exhale. So I have my right arm and my left leg up, and then I go down, inhale, and then exhale. And when you're doing this, you want to move as slowly as you need to make sure that your hips are staying steady and you're not dropping one hip or the other. If you are new to movements like this, you may notice some muscle quivering or shaking. That's okay. That can be just your muscle is working, but you don't want your hips to be dropping or wiggling. And just quick, it has been a minute, but quick here, a modification. If you find that that's a little too challenging, that's okay. It's absolutely okay. Give yourself grace. A modification there is to just do a hover. So instead of having the arm fully extended, you can do, just kind of hover it up an inch or two. Same thing with the knee. And if even that is too much, you can just do one at a time. So you can hover the hand, hover the other hand, hover the knee, hover the other knee. And again, you want to be moving slowly through these, especially if you're new to these type of exercises and you really want to focus on that breathing. I will say the last one is challenging, and it is something that I will admit I often was avoiding because I find it challenging, but that's where it's important for you to try and work on and, commit to it. So this is called a bear plank. So basically you want to make sure your toes are curled under, and you're going to do your inhale. And when you exhale, you lift your knees off the mat while you are squeezing that corset muscle and audibly exhaling. So you're going to inhale. And so you lift those knees just a couple inches off the mat, and you're holding, like you're squeezing that corset muscle while you exhale. I usually try to hold it for 5 or 10 seconds, and then you go back down, rest for a few seconds, and then back up. So And of course, as you get stronger, you can hold your knees up for a longer amount of time. You can, extend the intervals, however you want to work that. Then usually at the end of a little 5-minute workout like this, especially when pregnant, but really for anyone with low back, hip tightness, I get into a child's pose, which for me right now, I usually have my knees about as wide as the mat. If it's more comfortable, you can have them closer together. I do that just to allow room for my current belly. But sometimes, depending on my stage of pregnancy or if I'm postpartum or whatever, you can change the position of your knees to be the most comfortable for you. So my knees are about the width of the mat, my toes are together, and then I drop my bottom down to my heels and I extend my arms out and gently kind of fold into the mat with my forehead down. And you want to make sure that you're always breathing through all of this audibly, not holding your breath. And I'm just kind of showing you the move, but that's definitely a position you can be in and stay in for, as long or as many minutes as you want. So I hope that this was helpful today. Like I said, we did kind of a quick 5-minute deep core workout. If you are looking for more videos like this with exercise content, sort of simple, not necessarily easy, but simple, quick things to do that can be really high yield in terms of the benefit, definitely subscribe here on this YouTube channel for more. I am here weekly with longer form videos, whether they be demonstration videos like this or, other talking about mindset or exercise, all these types of topics. I also post a short every single day, so you can check that section of the channel out as well. If you're somebody that's looking for simple but consistent exercise, you're trying to find physical and mental health wins, you can also definitely head over to my website to sign up for my free weekly newsletter. And that website is drsarahionescu.com, and I'll have that all linked in the description box. So, imagine if in 5 minutes a day, you were able to strengthen your deep core, where if you're somebody that's pregnant or postpartum, you're getting that benefit of stronger muscles for labor and delivery, probably a quicker postpartum recovery where things, you're able to level up and be where you want to be. You have less low back pain, stiffness, tightness, and most importantly, you feel confident about the exercise that you're doing and you feel proud of yourself for taking the time to work on yourself. Imagine if you could have all of that in 5 minutes a day. Follow for more. Bye, everyone.